So, Mr. Levitz, we have a question from Cristiano. He asked, quais atributos você acha que quadrinista deve ter? So, what kind of characteristics, features an artist must have?
Well, if you're going to be a comics artist, the first job is storytelling. If you can't tell a story clearly and cleanly, all the other skills kind of don't matter. Ideally, depending on the kind of material, if it's talking about superhero comics, you also want someone to be a dynamic artist. You, regardless of the type of comics, you want someone with a sense of acting, so that the characters have personality, body language, movement that brings you into the story and tells you. The wonderful thing about comics today is there's an extraordinarily wide range of creative art being done. And there's successful work being done in webcomics and in some of the more literary imprints, the Drawn and Quarterlies and the Fantagraphics, that is of a very different style and approach than anything that I would have been interested in publishing for my taste, but is finding audiences. You can find webcomics out there that are very simply drawn, no attempt at realistic anatomy, but pure cartooning, but they tell a story in a way that has affection and passion. I think that all works. The most successful cartoonists we have working in comics today in America, Raina Telgemeier, Dav Pilkey, both are our best sellers right now, have incredible clarity of storytelling as cartoonists, very different styles. Pilkey is a little more impressionistic. Raina is a very, I would argue, traditional comic artist, following in the tradition of the newspaper comic strips and even the Archie comics. But it's immaculately clean storytelling and acting. When you read one of Raina's books, every panel has clear emotion, clear expression. Pilkey has dynamic energy going on in his work as a cartoonist. The core skills are very much the same as they've ever been. The range of styles that's okay is much wider than it's been in America for a very long time, which is fascinating.
Very good. Ele, basicamente, sim, se vai ser quadrinhista, né, um autor de quadrinhos, basicamente a narrativa, né? Ele disse, cara, não adianta tu saber desenhar bem se tu não sabe contar uma história, né? E é claro que algumas outras coisas também se somam a isso, né? Principalmente a questão de dinamismo, de ser dinâmico. A própria questão que ele colocou de senso de atuação, né? A questão de body language, né? De linguagem corporal, como tu vai colocar, como os personagens se comportam em cena, né? E ele disse que hoje tem uma variedade imensa de arte sendo produzida, então ele comenta ali, por exemplo, no webcomics, né? Então tem tanto cartunista publicando independentemente, enfim, e estilos que são claros, que são com traços claros, simples, né? Que assim, cara, tem coisa que eu não gostaria de publicar, que eu não publicaria, né, pro gosto dele, mas que tem público. Então, existe uma variedade muito grande de estilos aí, então, hoje sendo produzidos, que tem toda essa questão que atraem, né, muita questão assim de que consegue demonstrar afeto, paixão, enfim, com traços bem simples, né, nos quadrinhos, aí, uma forma de arte, de várias formas de arte, né. Yes,
let me answer your question another way too.
Sure.
If you look at the handful of most influential artists comics have ever had, Eisner, Kurtzman, Barks, Kirby, Adams, not necessarily saying the best. We can all argue who the best were or who our favorites were, but these are five of the artists who had the most to do with creating the language of comics at different times and had the most people following them in one fashion or another. Their styles, the things that made them great artists, in many ways were very different, but all five are immaculate storytellers in their peak years. Not everybody is equally brilliant for every moment of their life. We can argue, which years Jack Kirby was at his peak, which years Neil Adams was at his peak. Neil might argue today. I'm not sure I'd buy that, but Neil and I have been arguing since I was 14 years old, so that wouldn't be a new moment. But at their best, all of them told a story that could never lose you.
Very good. Ele menciona ali, né, a gente não sei de olhar pro passado, se olhar para alguns artistas que ele menciona, como Eisner, Kirby, Adams, Marx, qual foi o que ele mencionou ali, Daniel? Ele mencionou mais um. Kurtzman, thank you. I missed one. Cara, a gente pode ficar discutindo horas e horas aqui quem é o melhor de todos eles, mas cada um vai ter suas preferências. Mas uma coisa assim, que eles são intocáveis como grandes storytellers, como grandes
O que
mestres da
conecta
narrativa.
todos, né? O que conecta todos é o storytelling, a narrativa.
É o storytelling, né? Então, isso, acima de tudo, que vem ao encontro daquilo que ele havia falado antes, né? Então, sobre a questão da narrativa, né?